There's this group of 5 kids at my school that I have been very suspicious of. I've seen them opening their lockers and taking out notes, but after they read the note, they took a look around to see if anyone was watching them. I, of course, looked away from them, and they do that because I don't want them to know that I'm suspicious. When the school bell rings, they all rush out of the building and leave. They don't talk to each other or make a sound. Heck, they don't even look at each other. My name is Zach, and I'm determined to find out what's up with these kids. One day, the next day after school, I made sure to keep an eye on the kids. I tried to sit close to them at lunch. I glanced back and forth at them which they opened their lockers. I also glanced at them when they left school. In the next few days, I didn't get any information at them when they opened their lockers. I also glanced at them without them when they left the school in the next few days. I didn't get any information I wanted, but I did learn about their names, genders, and more. In the group, there were 3 girls and 2 boys. The first girl was blonde hair, white skin, green eyes, and her name was Rachel. I also learned that she tends to give nightmares. The second girl has brown hair, white skin, brown eyes, and her name was Ekio. The third girl has black hair, dark skin, brown eyes, and her name was Louise. The first boy was light brown hair, white skin, brown eyes, and his name was Graham. I also think that the Gramophobia here is because he puts out hand sanitizer all the time. The second boy has brown hair, white skin, green eyes, and his name was Gavin. I was just about to give up and forget about it, but little did I know that they were very suspicious about them. So I'm pretty sure we all know that someone is suspicious about us, right? Said Echo. Yes, Louise said, looking up at Echo. He's been watching us for the past few days. What's his name again? Echo said, trying to get Gavin more information. His name is Zach, Gavin answered Echo's question. Echo said, while thinking about what they were going to do next. There was a silence for a few seconds until Echo broke the silence and said, So do you guys want to see the photo he's got? Got or something? Echo asked while smiling. The rest of the kids thought about it and they all nodded, except for Graham. Well, just as long as he's not sick, Graham said urgently. You all know about the German atmosphere. Whatever, Graham, Echo said, rolling her eyes. I wonder if he has nightmares like me, Rachel thought to herself. When they all started to whisper to each other, the next day, I tried to forget about the group of kids, but was still buzzing through my mind. When I went for my locker, though, I saw something strange. There was a letter with a red seal on it, and on the seal saying TMS. TMS? What's TMS? I thought to myself. Then I proceeded to open the letter, and I opened it slowly because I thought it was a prank or something, and something was going to jump at me. But surprisingly, nothing happened. On the note, there was kind of small letters that said, Hello, Zach. We've caught your suspicion about us, and we want to see what you've got. Come to our area at midnight. P.S. Do not tell a soul about this, or you'll be disqualified. I had 2 questions after reading that note. 1, how do they know my name? And 2, who are these people? I focused more on the second question since it was more mysterious. Then my thoughts came up of what the group of 5 kids came back to me. Wait a minute, I said quietly, putting my finger in the air. What if this group of kids I've been watching for the past few days? I looked at back in my locker, and I saw a rolled up piece of paper, and I picked it up and unrolled it, and I saw a map. I guess this is where I'm supposed to go, I said while being quiet. I hesitated for a few seconds, then I started thinking, should I do this or not? However, my curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to do this. The house was quiet, so my parents were asleep, and I quietly got out of bed and grabbed the map from my backpack and grabbed my phone for a flashlight, and tiptoed out the window. I took a deep breath and said, let's do this, then climbed out of my window, walked into a safer part of the roof, and then jumped down, and quickly turned on my flashlight. My phone so I could see where I was going, and when I was able to see, I unrolled the map and began following way towards my destination. It was very quiet, and the only thing I could hear was the wind, crickets chirping, and trees shaking due to the wind blowing. I kept walking until I started to hear footsteps. They weren't my footsteps, so I began to get a little scared. I thought I was being followed, so I decided to start walking faster to try to get away from whatever it was. Then I stared at the bushes shaking. Not quietly, but pretty loud. This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. I started whispering to myself. I continued walking until I heard faint distance, and I began to look around to find nothing. Hello? I shouted in the darkness. My voice echoed, but there was no response. Faint noises, though I see, suddenly stopped, and then I was going to see something about it, but hello, said a girl with long blonde hair who came from the shadows. Ah, I screamed, while my heart was starting to race and beat fast. Whoa, 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 sorry for scaring you, the girl said, apologizing to me, give us such fright. Who are you? I stuttered. I'll explain later. Come with me, she said, while turning her back. Wait, where are we going? I said, waiting for answers from the girl. Well, she started, I'm part of TMS and... Wait, I said, interrupted an explanation. What's TMS? Well, she said while thinking the explanation, I think the rest of the group could help explain this better. The group? I asked in confusion. Then I remember the group of 5 kids and I was suspicious of. Wait, you mean the group of kids I've been suspicious for the past few days? I said, thinking I was correct. Yeah, said the girl while nodding her head. The group and I will explain once we get there. For now, follow me. Okay, I said. I started to follow the girl wherever she was going. While we were walking, I suddenly found something interesting with that girl. Hey, you look familiar, I told her while looking at her hair. She then turned around so quickly and said, Really? She gave me a chance to look closely at her face. Yeah, I feel like I've seen you at my school. Oh, that's weird, she said, turning around. We both started walking and the conversation we had just didn't happen right then and there. We kept walking until I heard the sound of the crackling campfire. When I looked at the direction of the sound, I saw 5 kids, sitting on tree stumps in a circle with a campfire in the middle. The kids then both looked up at me and smiled. Yelled. The girl walked away from me and then went to the tree stump and sat down. I guess that was supposed to be suspicious on her seat. While looking at the kids' faces, I realized that they all went to my school. I also remember their names. The girls walked up to me were Rachel, and I remember the other kids too. Louise, Graham, Gavin, and Echo. Hello, Zach, said Echo while waving. Welcome to our campfire. Thanks, I said while being a bit confused. Have a seat, she said, pointing the empty tree stump on the ground. I did as she said, and she started to talk more. I'm pretty sure you already know our names, she said, while looking at the rest of the group. Wait, how did you know that I knew your names? I said to Echo. We've caught your suspicion about us, said Louise while looking at me. And what do we see what you've got? Rachel said, continuing Louise's sentence. And what do you want me to do? I asked a group of kids. You have to think of a story, said Gavin, kind of answering my question. What kind of story? I asked, looking more for a specific answer. A scary story, said Graham while smiling. You have 24 hours, Echo said. Can I get a little more time? I said, hoping that they would say yes. You have 24 hours and that's it, said Echo. If we like your story, you'll join our group. If not, we'll never contact you again, Graham said sternly. Louise then picked up a bucket of water and then standing and said, I declare this meeting of the midnight socially closed. Wait, I said, holding my hands up. What does TMS mean? Yes, Louise said. And as I was saying, I declare this meeting of the midnight socially closed. Then she poured the bucket of water on the fire to put it out, and it was dark again. Do not tell anyone about us, said Graham while walking away. After that, I immediately remembered my parents. They usually check on me to make sure I'm in bed all night. I quickly got all my things and started using the map to go back to my house. When I go back to my house, I climbed on my roof and carefully walked for the window. Then I quietly climbed back inside my room. Thankfully, my parents were still asleep, so I quickly went back to my bed. I kept thinking about what the group of kids said. You have 24 hours to come up with a scary story. If we like your story, you'll join our group. If not, we'll never contact you again. The next day, I had some extra time before school, so I started thinking of a scary story idea. It took me a little while to come up with one. What's this story? I asked, shaking to myself. Clowns? Nah, that's too cliche. I was about to give up after school, but out of nowhere, my dad walked in the room. Hey, buddy, my dad said. What you doing? Trying to think of a scary story idea, I replied. Oh, good luck with that, he said, smiling. Oh, wait, he said, reaching into his pocket. I found this penny on the ground earlier and I wanted to give it to you. I hope it brings you good luck. He then walked over and gave me the penny. Okay, thanks, Dad, I said to him. I hope it does too. Anyway, we have to leave for school soon, so get ready and get your backpack, he said, starting to walk out of my bedroom door. Okay, thanks for the penny, Dad, I replied. Luck, I said, while looking at the penny. Then I thought the words good luck and bad luck. Bad luck is scary, right? Maybe I should write a story about that, I said while holding a pencil in the air. Come on, Zach, we got to go, shouted my dad. Okay, I'm coming, I shouted back. I know what I was going to write about, I said to myself with a smile on my face. I guess I'll start writing it after school. Then I grabbed my backpack and ran to the front door. Hey, Zach, my dad said while started locking the door. Did you find out any scary story idea you were going to write? Yep, I said while walking to the car. I'm going to start writing it after school. That's great, my dad said. Then they both went into the car and put their seatbelts on. When I got to school, I immediately went to my locker. As suspected, there was a letter again with the red seal inside my locker. I took a letter out of my locker and looked at it. It said TMS on it again. Oh, it's the kids again, I thought. Then I quickly opened the letter and gave a note, and on the note says, Hello, Zach. Remember, don't forget you have to come up with a story to tell us tonight. Use the map we gave you to find our way. Good luck with your story, and we'll be waiting for you. See you at midnight. I put the note away and proceeded to walk down the hall. During each class, I kept wondering about what the very scary part of my story should be. I began brainstorming ideas on a notebook. I could remember what I thought about it. When the final bell rang, I rushed out of school with the notebook, wrote my ideas down that I wrote in. I couldn't wait to get home and began writing. When I finally got home, I went straight to my room and got started on my story. While writing my story, I also took breaks sometimes just to do my homework as well. When I was almost finished with my story, it was almost midnight. My parents were already asleep, so I decided to continue on it. Phew, I said while wiping my forehead. Finally done. I looked at my clock and I could see what time it was. Oh man, I said, surprised. It's almost midnight. I better not keep those kids waiting. I gathered my things, phone, map, notebook, and carefully walked towards my window. Let's do this again, I said confidently. I then climbed out of my window and walked in the safe part of my roof to jump down from, and turned on the flashlight on my phone and grabbed the map. I followed the map to my destination while listening for the crackling of the campfire, and then when I could look, I saw 5 kids in torches. I walked over towards them to get a better look at their face, and I realized that they were the kids I saw yesterday. Hello, Zach, said Echo. Do you have your story? Yes, I said, nodding to myself. I'm ready to tell it. Follow us, she said, while she and the rest of the kids started walking away. Then I started to follow them until I could hear the sound of the crackling campfire. I kept looking until I saw 6 tree stumps in a circle and a campfire in the middle of it. The 5 kids started to walk to their tree stumps and sat down. I also did the same. Rachel picked up the bag and handed it to me. Tossed a handful of these into a fire, she said, smiling. I put my hand in the bag and pulled out some sort of sand stuff. I tossed it in the fire, and then the fire started to flare up. Also, a little particle started going up in the air. It was quite a sight since I started to die down and go back to normal. After that, Echo picked up a tiny box and opened it, and then she took out a piece of paper out of it. Every story starts with these words, she said, handing a piece of paper, followed by the title of your story. I looked at the paper and began to read out loud what was on it. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I called the story. I then put the paper down and then took a note at everyone. And then I said the title of the story, The Tale of the Unlucky Penny. Alex did whatever he could to be lucky. He would catch ladybugs, pick up 4-leaf clovers, first from the ground, and collect coins he'd found on the ground while walking. He did put coins in his piggy bank, but which he was called the Luckyster. Wait, Rachel said, interrupting my story. His name is Luckyster? Yes, I replied while looking at her. It's like Buster, but with the word luck. Oh, said Rachel, nodding her head. Okay, please continue. I did as she said. He was also very cautious about bad luck. He walked carefully past ladders, avoided black cats at all times, and he was careful at restaurants so he wouldn't knock over a salt shaker. One day, Alex was walking home from school when he looked down and saw a penny on the ground. He was about to pick it up, but he hesitated. A penny is not worth that much. I mean, it could still help, he said, looking at the penny. However, the penny was very strange. It had a picture of a President Abraham Lincoln on it, and there was a picture of a man with a king on his hand, and he was wearing a top hat. But Alex couldn't help but feel about the penny was calling out to him. You know that, I'll just get it. I feel like it just wants to come home with me, said Alex while picking up the penny and putting it in his pocket. Then he started to continue to walk home. As he was walking, he heard a creepy eerie laugh behind him. It sounded like a man. Alex stopped dead in his tracks, and he quickly turned around and shouted, "Hello?" But no one answered. Then he thought that he was being followed, so he started to run quickly home. When Alex got home, he thought that he'd be safe, but however, little did he know that things were about to go wrong. While Alex started walking to his room, he put the penny that he found in his piggy bank, but did not realize that his shoes were untied. Sure enough, while walking, Alex tripped on his shoelace and fell on his knee. "Ow!" he said as he got up and held his knee in pain. Luckily, he wasn't bleeding, so he got up and tied his shoes, and then continued walking, now being more careful. When he got to his room, he went straight to the piggy bank and took the unique penny out of his pocket. "Here you go, Luckster, a special penny," he said. As he was starting to put the penny in the slot, he realized that it was on the pig's back. But before he could put the penny in the coin slot, Luckster started shaking. He was shaking so much that he could hear the coins that were inside. It took a few seconds to realize that he started to float in the air. "What the?" said Alex in confusion as he watched Luckster float out in the air before his very eyes. "Wait, so the piggy bank just randomly started floating in the air?" Graham said in a noticeable question scare there. "Yes," I replied, looking at him. Then it floated away the table, and then before Graham could finish the sentence, Echo quickly picked up a small rock and threw it at Graham's body. "Ow!" said Graham as the rock fell on the ground after hitting him. "Just let him tell the story, Graham," she said, annoyed. "Okay, sorry," replied Graham. "Thank you," I said with a smile on the face. Now, as I was saying, Luckster floated away from the table. It was originally fell on the ground. It was now smashed into pieces. "Luckster!" yelled Alex as he watched a now broken piggy bank. As he went to go quickly grab the broom and dustbin and started to clean up the mess. "I guess I could buy a new piggy bank," he said sadly while putting the pieces of Luckster in the garbage. Alex realizes that weird and unlucky things were happening to him. Then he thought about the penny he brought home with him. No good luck was happening to him. Actually, a lot of bad luck was happening to him. He thought about it bringing the penny back to where he found it, and then he thought maybe it'd be the luck inside the penny that hasn't kicked in yet. So he decided to keep it and place it on the table, and then went to the kitchen to eat dinner. But little did he know that was a bad idea. While eating dinner, he went to go grab some salt, and as he touched the salt shaker randomly fell over. "Wait, how?" said Alex in confusion. "I didn't even touch it." Suddenly, Alex's chair started to sit over. "Ow," he said while getting up off the ground. "You know what? This penny isn't helping to me getting good luck at all," he said while taking the penny out of his pocket. "I'm taking it back to where I found it." Without hesitating, Alex went out to the front of the door and he began to look for the spot where he found the penny. He remembered how it fell onto the ground and the surroundings around the penny, so it was easy to find out where the penny was. And then he finally found the good spot. He took the penny out of his pocket and aggressively threw it on the ground. "Good riddance," he said while taking one last look at the penny before walking away. While Alex was walking away from the penny, it started to glow. However, Alex did not see because his back was turned. This was also starting to get late, so when Alex got home, he got ready for bed. He thought of the unlucky penny madness was over, and he slept peacefully that night. The next morning, Alex woke up in a good mood, and everything was going great so far until he looked on his table. When he saw what was on the table, he froze. It was the penny that he dealt with yesterday. "What?" shouted Alex. "I thought I got rid of you." Right after Alex said that, something familiar happened. The penny started to glow even brighter, and then the penny started to float in the air just like Luckster. While it was floating in the air, Alex could hear the same creepy earring eyes glowing laugh from yesterday, and then when he started to walk around and found the penny, although this time it was much louder, and the penny fell to the ground, but it didn't stop there, and it fell on the ground and began to grow in size. "What the heck is going on?" said Alex while backing away from the growing penny. Suddenly, a bronze man on top of a hat with a cane jumped out of the huge penny on the floor, and the man stared directly at Max. "Ah!" screamed Max in petrified fear. Alex ran to his bedroom, but then he randomly shut the door, and then turned around to see the bronze man with his head sticking out towards the door. Did you just close my door?" Alex stuttered in affright at the man. "Yes," said the man in an echoed voice, while staring directly into Alex's eyes. Then now they were pennies sunk and back to his normal size. "Wait, what do you want from me?" Alex asked the man while shaking with fear. "Why do you have so many coins?" the bronze man asked. Wait, said Alex, interrupting the bronze man. "Have you been the one making the unlucky things happen to me?" "Stop talking and answer my question," shouted the bronze man while tapping his bronze cane to the ground. His noise then made the house shake a little. Okay, sorry," said Alex while being a bit further back to the bronze man. "Why do you have so many coins, Alex?" the bronze man said while his voice echoed a little. Why do I have so many coins? Alex repeated. Well, I like being lucky. Really? The man said. Yeah, I like being so lucky so I could do different things to try to get good luck, like catching ladybugs. Alex walked to his table and picked up a jar of ladybugs. See? He said while showing the jar of the man before putting the jar back on the table. I also try avoiding having bad luck. Alex continued. I'm listening, said the bronze man. He was interested in Alex's explanation for being lucky. To avoid bad luck, I do things like keeping distance from black cats and not walking under any ladders. But I haven't been so lucky since I found that penny you just came out of. The man started to stare hard at Alex. I'm not trying to be offensive, Alex quickly said. The penny looked pretty cool. The man nodded. Why, thank you, he said. I was trying to be a good pose on it. Alex smiled, and he was starting to get a little less scared from the man. Anyway, I'm getting off track, said the bronze man. As I was saying, I think you're a bit greedy for good luck. Really? Alex replied. Yes, the bronze man replied. Being greedy is a bad thing. That's why I tried to teach you a lesson by cursing you with bad luck. Wait, you cursed me with bad luck? Alex said while getting worried. Not forever, though, the man said. Let's continue. I cursed you with bad luck to teach you a lesson about being greedy. And all the things I said, untying your shoelaces, knocking over the salt shaker, pulling you away from the chair, breaking your piggy bank. Oh, I'm sorry about Luckster. It's all right. Right, Alex replied. I could buy a new one. Anyway, I wanted to teach all of you this about greed, the man continued. Don't be greedy or you'll wind up with nothing. You were so greedy for good luck, so I decided to take away the good luck and give you bad luck. Oh, I see, Alex replied. I'm sorry, I guess I was being kind of greedy for the good luck. About this, since the bronze man, I'll take away the bad luck if you promise not to be greedy ever again. Deal, Alex said eagerly. All right then, I'll release the curse, the man said while smiling. Over the days, he had not gotten so mad. Release the curse from this young lad. The bronze man pointed his cane at Alex, and suddenly sparkles came over Alex as he smiled and they went away. And for breaking the piggy bank, here's the new one, the bronze man said as he pointed to his cane at Alex's table. Then Alex looked at the top with sparkles on it, then a piggy bank formed on top of his table. It looked just like Luckster, except it was a bronze color. Wow, Alex said while walking to his table up and picking up the piggy bank. He admired it and then put it back down. Thank you, said Alex. The bronze man nodded and then tapped his cane to the ground. After that, the penny grew huge again on the floor. The man stepped onto the huge penny and said, Goodbye, Alex. He then went back inside the penny. After he was gone, the penny shrunk back to its normal size. Alex was very happy about the bad luck was over, and he would never be greedy again. Alex had learned his important lesson. I continued. He learned not to be greedy is a bad thing, and the moral of the story is don't be greedy or you'll wound up with nothing. I looked up at the kids at the campfire and said, The end. All the kids looked at me. So how do you guys like it? All the kids then stared and looked at each other. It was silent for a while. Hello? Did you guys like it or not? I said, and while staring to get worried. There was a little more silence before Louise finally said, I liked it. I smiled when she said that. Yeah, it was great, said Graham. Yeah, I like the part with the bronze man, said Echo. Yeah, and I also like the part with the moral as well, said Gavin. Agree, said Rachel. It was awesome. Thanks, guys, I said to all of them. I stood up. So am I in the group? Everyone else in the group and Echo with smiles said, Absolutely, I smiled again. Echo continued to say, Louise is up for our next storytelling tomorrow, and then maybe you could tell us another story? Yeah, I suppose I could be next, Graham said angrily. Hey, calm down, I'll give you a few guys a chance, said Louise. Okay, sorry, said Graham. Sure, I'd tell you another story, I said eagerly. Well then, we'll see you tomorrow night here again, okay? Echo said. Then Louise picked up a bucketful of water. I declare this meeting of the Midnight Socially closed. Then she poured the bucket of water over the campfire. I hurried back home and went to bed. I was in the Midnight Socially. I was so happy. I couldn't wait to work on another story to tell them. And that, my little pretties, was Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Unlucky Penny. Are You Afraid of the Dark fan fiction written by Tay11. I want to thank you so much, Tay11, for the story. Okay, my final thoughts on this story. I actually like this fan fiction. This fan fiction was actually really good. Even though it had 2 chapters, I decided, you know what? It has 2 chapters, so I will, just read it all at once. Because I think it's going to be like pretty better, just to be honest. Like, I really do have to say right now that this story was actually really good. Now, I could definitely say that there was a few things I did not like, but there was also a few, well, I think there was one or two things I did not like. Now, for one thing I could definitely say was that, what was it? Sorry guys, I'm having a brain fart. I'm just trying to, remember exactly. Okay. Now, the first part I could definitely say about the story that was really good. Now, the grammar was really good. I can definitely recommend that the grammar was good. The sentence structuring was amazing. The paragraph structuring was really good. I also like the concept itself was just to be flat out amazing. The storyline of how it went out was just awesome, and I can definitely guarantee. The fact that the fan fiction was only 2 chapters, I wish there was more chapters, but anyway, this one was still pretty good. I could definitely say it was pretty good. Now, if I have to say one thing that it was not really that, interesting or why I didn't care about, was that the story that Alex, about what Alex was having all the bad luck. And, how would a lucky penny, curse you for bad luck like that? I know it's just fan fiction, but I can understand, that, the person was trying to, come up with a scary story with the lucky penny. But, what could have been done a little better is maybe, have a little backstory behind Alex. Like, I know this one did take a little bit of it, but what I could suggest is maybe have a little bit more common sense into it. There wasn't really too many common sense in the story, like that Zach was telling. But other than that, the story was actually pretty good. Now, I thought I did say there was a few negatives, but there was only maybe 1 or 2 negatives that I did say. But other than that, the story was just flat out amazing. Like, the flow of the story just went out beautifully, and everything about it was just amazing. Like, the first chapter was really good. The second chapter worked very well as well. And, the whole story of it was just flat out beautifully. Like, it helped out with the story, everything, built up in a sense. And that's a very good thing. When it comes to, having, a built up story, you have to make sure it builds up really well, which in this case it does. But however, even if it's a story that's not supposed to make a whole lot of sense, it does still, act pretty good. The story itself was actually really awesome, I can definitely say. Like, everything about it was just flat out amazing. Now, I could definitely say that this story did pretty good. The only thing negative I have to say was what was it? Oh, yeah. The one story I could say about is, why would Alex be cursed because he was greedy and all that? Like, here's the thing. I know we do get greedy at times, but, like, greedy for good luck, I understand that we do get greedy. But how would greedy for good luck be doing that? Like, if it was money, then that could be pretty much understandable. But in this case, it's just not really the greatest. I don't understand why it was the case. But I understand, the moral of the story, which is pretty good. And the ending was actually pretty nice of how everything flowed well. Okay, now I'm trying to keep the review as short as I possibly can because this one was a long fan fiction. I'm just trying to keep the story as short as I possibly can. But I could definitely say that this story did pretty good, and I actually loved the flow of it and the storyline. Now, anyways, like I'm going to say right now, and like I'm always going to continue to say, that this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these fan creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 because everything about it was good, and the grammar was neatly well done, the sentence structuring was great, paragraph structure was amazing, the concept was awesome, the storyline of how the whole thing went out was just amazing. Like if it was just an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark. Now, I have not seen Are You Afraid of the Dark show, but I could definitely say that this one is actually pretty cool. And this whole thing is just flat out amazing. Like, I'm really being honest here. Like, it really flowed out well. Now, I might check out the show, but, I haven't seen this show in, like, a long time. Like, it was, like, a really great show, which I can definitely say that, it actually did pretty good. And everything about it flowed out beautifully. Like, okay, now I'm trying to wrap up this review because this is getting a little long. than I intended to have it long, but I can definitely say that this story actually did pretty good. Now, anyways, what did you all think about this fan fiction? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done personally to help make the story a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comments, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so you guys will not miss an upload. And like always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here. And I will be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.